the NISM SEBI National Financial Literacy Quiz 2025 being hosted today at the Nirma University, Ahmedabad, which is, of course, the land of heritage and enterprise. So this is the sixth and the last regional round of the NFLQ 2025. We began our journey with the Eastern round, followed by South, North, Central, a special focus on Northeast, and now today we are here in the West, completing the regional journey of NFLQ 2025. And this will finally culminate into the grand finale at the NISM campus in Mumbai. And this year was truly a pan-India journey, connecting students from diverse states, cultures, and institutions under one common goal, that was financial awareness. So today we began with the quiz. We had a participation of 50 undergraduate teams from the Western region. And this is a fantastic participation. Thank you so much, everybody. So the representations came from 4 states when we are saying the Western region. These were Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, and Rajasthan. So thank you so much for this enthusiasm, and this is clearly indicative that the interest in financial literacy is going. And a special thanks to all the faculty members and your mentors for actually encouraging you to participate in the quiz. So thank you to all the colleges and universities who've participated here. To provide the context, you all know NFLQ 2025 is part of NISM and SEBI's advocacy efforts towards strengthening financial literacy among young learners. Now, this initiative is aimed for both undergraduate as well as postgraduate students and is designed to spread awareness about financial markets at large. It seeks to empower students with the knowledge they need to make informed decisions as you all step into the real world outside. So we are deeply honored to have with us our thought leaders in capital markets to grace this occasion. From NISM, we have our director, Mr. Sashi Krishnan, who's the highest authority in NISM, a very well-known thought leader in the financial market space. So you call it capital market, you call it insurance and pension. Sashi sir is all round, and we are very fortunate to have him as our director. And under his leadership, primarily this initiative, NFLQ, has traveled across length and breadth of the country. He's been accompanying us to each of the regional rounds to motivate all the students personally. So he's here throughout the quiz. He's actually watching you, answering various questions, and also big thank you, sir, for being here. We are also honored to have with us here the faculty members of the Institute, Nirma University's Institute, Dr. Nitesh Bhatt, Director of Institute of Management, Dr. Uday Palewal, Director, Institute of Commerce from Nirma University again. Along with them, we also have our SEBI officials, Mr. Balbir Singh and Ms. Himani Mittal. So can I please request all our dignitaries to come on stage for lighting of the lamp? Also, I would request few faculty members to join them. Dr. Rupali Mahadir can be a representative from the faculty members. Session, I would request our director, Mr. Sashi Krishnan, to please come up on stage for the keynote address for all our students, faculty members, and other guests.
Morning, and so thank you so much for coming on a Saturday to participate in our quiz. And I must say we are very obliged to Nirma University for this beautiful campus. I know this, he says that the hall can house 450 people. I hope next time around we have 450 people sitting in this hall. But this has been an effort that has taken us to the east, west, north, south, the far east and central India. And I think the objective of both NISM and SEBI has primarily been to equip the next generation with essential financial skills. And the main reason that we do this National Financial Literacy Quiz is because we do believe that this is an essential life skill that every one of you must have. And what better time to catch anybody but when they are young and they are hungry to learn. I think and this is a life skill you must acquire before you reach adulthood. I think there are no two doubts about this. And I think we believe that if we are able to empower young Indians today with the knowledge and skills necessary to make informed financial decisions, irrespective of where and what career you will choose finally, I think we will be able to create a much, much more prosperous society. And I think there are three fundamental things that we believe we will be able to achieve with initiatives like the National Financial Literacy Quiz. The first is financial independence, because I think by empowering students with financial knowledge and skills, we are setting you on the path to financial independence. And that, I think, will enable you to make more informed decisions as you grow into adulthood. The second is it will enhance your financial skills. And I think developing these financial skills is very, very essential, especially skills in terms of budgeting, in terms of financial planning, in terms of decision making. These are all skills that you must sort of acquire. And I think all of you, for your own personal benefits, must start acquiring those skills today. And lastly, I think, and most importantly in today's world, is that it reduces stress. And I think we are all very worried about stress. I was reading somewhere that on an average, a human being spends something like 4.7 hours in a day, thinking about his money. And, if you're going to spend so much time thinking about your money, then I think, at the end of the day, it is going to lead to stress in some point of time. And the only reason that we believe we should do more and more such events is that, ultimately it will lead to what we believe is a stress-free, society. And I think that is the primary reason why we've been going around the country doing this financial literacy quiz. And I think this year we have been able to touch something like, 250,000 students across the country. This will all culminate into a final. Anybody who participates in this will be a winner, because you would go back with a lot more knowledge than, you hopefully started off with. And believe me, it doesn't take a genius to sort of understand finance. I think all it takes is a little bit of common sense and a little bit of effort. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Polgar sisters, but Laszlo Polgar was a Hungarian who, believed that a genius is not born, but a genius is made. And I think that's very, very true of the business that we are in terms of financial literacy. And, Laszlo and his wife, Clara, decided that they would educate their children to become chess prodigies. And chess is not something that is very simple, believe me. And believe me, they had no chess in their genes, right? They were genetically not a chess family, if I may put it that way. And therefore, what they said is all we need to do is invest our time and effort into training our 3 daughters into becoming chess prodigies. And believe me, they were very, very successful. Susan Polgar, who was the eldest, became the top-ranked chess player in July 1984, and at the age of 15. And given any format of chess, whether it was classical chess, whether it was time control, whether it was rapid chess, she literally was a champion in every format of chess. The youngest, Judith Polgar, is the first and only woman chess player, forget about the woman chess player, among the male chess players also, to earn a rating of over 2,700. In fact, her rating was 2,735. It's one of the highest ratings that anybody has ever got in chess. And she's literally considered to be a super grandmaster. She has beaten literally every male chess player in the world, including Magnus Carlsen, including Anatoly Karpov, including our very own Vishy Anand, right? And this was not because chess was in her genes. It is something that she actually acquired, the skills that she acquired. And obviously the middle daughter, Sophia, was another, master and women grandmaster. And she won the gold medal in the chess Olympiad. So the point I'm trying to leave with you is that, the skills that you will acquire will not come because you need to be born into, as we used to say in the good old days, a Marwadi family or a Gujarati family, with due respect to the fact that I'm speaking in Ahmedabad. Every one of you, and we know that the Marwadis and Gujaratis have finance in their blood and therefore it comes naturally to them, right? So when I started my career in the Bombay Stock Exchange, there were only 2 types of brokers in the Bombay Stock Exchange. They were either the Gujarati stock brokers or they were the Marwadi stock brokers, right? Today, if you go on to this, the younger generation of wealth advisors, of, financial experts, now have come from a wide variety of sort of backgrounds and not merely those people who had, let me say, finance in their blood. And all I want to leave with all of you is that it is not very, very difficult. It is something that is, simple to understand, and all it requires is a little bit of common sense. And before I leave, I'll just tell you a little bit about common sense. At one point of time, when I was, starting my career in managing money, my boss, who was, a Sindhi, so he had also finance in his blood, called me and asked me, have you looked at a company called Hero Honda? And Hero Honda, in those days, it's no longer Hero Honda. It is today Hero Limited because they have decided to separate. Both of them are now competing in the market. But in those days, it was a small Hero itself was a small cycle manufacturing company out of, a sleepy old town in the north of India called Ludhiana. And me coming from the south had never heard about Ludhiana, believe me. So I said, yes, I've heard of this company. It's a cycle manufacturing guy who wants to get into manufacturing motorcycles. So my boss asked me, have you looked at it and tried to figure out whether you would like to invest into this company or not? And I said, do you really think I should be investing into a small, Ludhiana-based company? So he says, have you seen Ramayana? And, I got completely floored because, where was Hero Honda and Ludhiana and where was Ramayana? And for all of you who are of this generation but have passed through COVID times, you may be familiar with Ramayana because they replayed Ramayana during COVID. And I'm sure because you had nothing better to do in those days, some of you may have sat in front of that, TV and watched Ramayana. But in our days, Ramayana was, possibly the only TV serial we could watch because, when Ramanand Sagar made this magnum opus, he did it at a very grand scale for those days. And, हमारे मोहल्ले में एक ही टीवी होता था. We used to wake up on Sunday morning, जूते उतार के, TV के सामने बैठ के आरती उतार के, we used to watch, Ramayana. And I said, yes, I've watched Ramayana. That's something that, all of us in our generation did. So he said, do you know who is the first advertiser before Ramayana begins. And the first advertiser used to be Hero Honda. And he says, here is a Ludhiana-based company that has, in its own wisdom and the wisdom of the people who are running this company and its promoters, sort of zeroed in on, the most precious media sort of property in India at this point of time. And if this management has that kind of a vision, there must be something that they've got which will help them build up a very, very large company in times to come. And most definitely, because my boss told me, not so much as I believed a story about them having vision, I went down to Ludhiana and met up with the company, and we did our fundamental research, and we did invest into this. And I would believe that, the kind of returns that we would have got having invested, the early 80s into a company like this would be, many, many thousands of times in terms of CAGR. So that, in my opinion, is what common sense was all about. It's about trying to identify what are the right kind of ideas. I mean, where should you be and where you should not be. But the only caveat or warning I'd give you is don't take this common sense too far, simply because the very same year when we made this decision to invest into Hero Honda, there was a plague in Surat. And though many of you may not have lived during those ages when there was a plague in Surat, many of you would have heard about this plague of Surat. And I do believe there was a collector at that point of time in Surat who did a wonderful job cleaning up Surat, making Surat today one of the most, if I'm not saying, if not one of the most, the cleanest city in this country. And in those days, there was this company called IDPL. And I don't know how many of you would have heard about this company. I'm sure most of you wouldn't have heard about this company, but it, the full form of the company used to be called, it used to be called Indian Drugs and Pharmaceuticals Limited. And Indian Drugs and Pharmaceuticals Limited was the only company in those days that was manufacturing a drug that could be administered to help you combat, the plague if you contracted it. And so I walked into my boss's office and I told him, I've got a brilliant idea coming out of common sense. Why don't we invest into IDPL? Because there is this plague in Surat and, this company is going to do extremely well. And my boss asked me only one thing. He says, how many plagues do you think there will be in India? Because unless we have a plague every week in India, how do you think IDPL is going to survive? And quite rightly so, simply because within 10 years of that decision, in spite of the fact that I invested in it, IDPL went belly up and now it's in receivership, I suspect, and it's, it's a BIFR company. So all I'll tell you is common sense can work both ways. But I mean, finance and the securities market is not a difficult space to be in. It is an essential life skill that every one of you must sort of acquire. And our sort of way of pushing ahead with this agenda is, the National Financial Literacy Quiz. All the best to every one of you, and hope you have a great time and go back home having learned something, and take back a message to everyone you get in contact with in terms of why in today's day and age, financial literacy is so very important. Thank you so much and all the best.
Can I please call upon stage Dr. Nitesh Bhatt, Director, Institute of Management, Nirma University, to please address the audience.
Good morning. Good morning. Honorable Dr. Shashi, young, brilliant, and energetic organizing team of NISM as well as CB, my esteemed colleagues from Nirma University, Professor Uday Paliwal, Professor Puneet Saurabh, Dr. Lalit, amazing parents whom I can see here, and young, energetic, and aspirational students, future of Viksit Bharat. I, on my personal behalf, on behalf of Nirma University, welcome you to this campus of Institute of Management, Nirma University, which is a 30 years old institute in India and almost 24-year-old university in India, first private university of Gujarat. My role is to welcome you as you are in this venue. Many of you, I have learned that it's a regional round, you must have come from other states. And some of you must have come from Gujarat, but probably for the first time you must have come to Gujarat, Nirma University. There was an old song, Hindi songs, sir was referring to Ramayana, so I thought let me also use some reference. There was a movie called Andhi. So there was a famous song in that, कि तुम आ गए हो नूर आ गया है, तुम आ गए हो नूर आ गया है, नहीं तो चरागों से लौ जा रही थी, तुम आ गए हो नूर आ गया है, नहीं तो चरागों से लौ जा रही थी, और जीने की तुमसे वजह मिल गई है, बड़ी बेवजह जिंदगी जा रही थी. So I welcome you to this campus, but because we are a venue, so let me quickly introduce you to this university. This wonderful academic campus was set up by the promoters of Nirma Limited, who are definitely into soaps and detergents. They are still into that, but they are also into cement, they are into pharma in a big way, they are into packaging, they are into limestone, real estate and other things also. With regard to this academic setup, it was started in 1994 with the Nirma Education and Research Foundation. The first institute which was started was Engineering Campus in 1995, and second campus which was started was Institute of Management. Initially it was 2 institutes. Now in almost 30 years we have 8 institutions. So apart from management and engineering, we have commerce, Professor Uday Paliwal is here, we have design, we have architecture, we have pharma, we have science, right? So we have multiple disciplines and we offer courses from UG to PG. And I am saying PG, I am even including doctoral program also. So we are having part-time programs, part-time PhD, we are having full-time PhD program also. In terms of numbers, we have approximately 12,000 students in this university in all these 8 institutions. In terms of faculty and staff put together, we are approximately 1,000 direct employment, right? This entire campus is 125-acre campus. We have a school also. So 110 acre belongs to Nirma University and remaining belongs to a school, right? Institute of Management where you have come, we have around 70 faculty members, right? And 30-40 staff. We have 2 BBA program. We have 7 MBA program, including a global MBA program where we are having a tie-up with some of the renowned universities of United States. And we offer a specialization, of course, in finance, but we also offer specialization in business analytics, operations, marketing. We have MBA HR program also. So in MBA Institute of Management, we are having 2,100 plus students, and Institute of Commerce is also represented here. They have an annual intake of 200, so they have 800 students. And I have learned that our students from Institute of Commerce have multiple times represented, right, in the regional round, and they have emerged as a winner also there. And they are students have been taken part in various activities of NISM. And one quick thing I would like to tell you before I leave, we are in touch with the wonderful NISM and SEBI organization for this event from May. You see, you people have come to take part in this event, but students will be really amazed and enthused how much energy goes into that. So they first got in touch with us for organizing this event in the end of May, right? Through one of my old colleague, Professor Kapil, right, and Yogesh, yeah. And since then, this association and this planning was going on. From our side, it was just venue. But you see, let me tell you, friends, you'll be amazed. Sir was talking about financial things and so, how much efforts have gone into this coordination. Entire Raki, they have come, saw all our facilities. And the day before yesterday, the organizing team came, some members. Yesterday, around 8 to 10 people were here. And yesterday, I was also occupied with one of the academic activity. When I left this campus at around 9:30, I came to this hall, 3rd time yesterday just to oversee this. Nothing was here. And the organizing team, the event management company, which is itself is wonderful, just few tables were here. And today morning when I came here, you see such a wonderful setup. So kudos to the entire team. Big round of applause to them. With such perfections, with such precision, they have done it. And with regard to all of you, you have already passed one round and therefore you are here. So our best wishes to all of you. Some of you will emerge as victorious, but each one of you are going to have wonderful learning. And from our side, Dr. Puneet has done wonderful efforts. So big round of applause for him, as well as for Dr. Lalit. So thank you and all the best.
Call Sashi sir to please felicitate you. I would also request Professor Uday Palewal to please come up on stage. Please, can we have Professor Puneet Saurabh and Dr. Lalit Arora also subsequently?